Many emerging reports showcase that the Raptors have significant interest in trading for 76ers guard Ben Simmons. So yesterday, we saw the trade that Sixers GM Daryl Morey offered the Toronto Raptors. And it's safe to say that this trade offer is pretty ridiculous. So in this video, we're going to break down the discussions. Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans to Amateur Hour Sports. This is the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 days a week. That is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you like what you see from today's video, you want more of myself talking about the NBA and the Raptors and videos and content just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to show support to the channel on a road to 5,000 subs. We are so close to 4.6K. Thank you guys so much for your support for Draft Week. Plenty of good content coming your way very soon. But let's get down to business for today. Daryl Morey sent the Raptors a trade offer that would send Ben Simmons to the Toronto Raptors, and oh my goodness, Daryl Morey got absolutely clowned all over social media for this offer because it is safe to say that it is pretty ridiculous what he offered here. So let's break down the actual trade discussions if you have not seen it. So the 76ers, according to Daryl Morey, would send Ben Simmons to the Toronto Raptors in exchange for a first-round pick, but not just any first-round pick. The 4th overall pick that is set to be used this Thursday, OG Anunoby, and we're not even done here, a sign and trade for Kyle Lowry, and Fred VanVleet. All of this for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, a guard who has struggled over the postseason, and I would say has significantly decreased his value in the A based on his postseason performances. In the Atlanta Hawks series, Ben Simmons only shot the ball 3 times across all 7 fourth quarters plus OT, and there was a huge reluctance in Game 7 to actually hit a layup, even though the layup was wide open. So I think Ben Simmons, given the circumstances right now, is a player, especially when you consider the fact that Ben Simmons is going to make ample amounts of money over the next few years because of his big contract. I think that Ben Simmons is not a player that you trade up for to get. I think that the 76ers have to understand that they're going to have to get value back. This does not really match Ben Simmons in order to get rid of that contract, because Ben Simmons, look, we clown Ben Simmons, we talk about his shooting all the time, but Ben Simmons is a great player. He's a fantastic defender, but we have seen his inability to truly perform in the clutch, especially in playoff scenarios. And I don't think this is the first time. And I think it's time for the 76ers at this point to build around Joel Embiid and get players that cater to Joel Embiid's strengths. He's coming off a season where if he had stayed healthy, he probably would have been the MVP. And Ben Simmons, who, when he's on the floor, it allows teams to collapse in the paint a little bit more, which limits Joel Embiid's game. So the 76ers need to get some shooters outside that would make sure Joel Embiid has the most amount of space possible so that he can do his thing on the interior, but also if he needs to, he can go out and spread the floor as well. Because in that Atlanta Hawks series, Ben Simmons literally had to hide under the rim and play like a center to be effective. I mean, he was so unaffected that even in clutch situations, the 76ers had to take him off the floor. So first of all, for me, I've made a couple of videos in the offseason already because there's been lingering reports that the Raptors have interest in Ben Simmons. But now, I think there is concrete evidence that showcase the Raptors actually want Ben Simmons. That Masai Ujiri legitimately has interest in for Ben Simmons for whatever reason that is. My personal opinion, I don't want Ben Simmons anywhere near this team. And the opinion of many of you in this community, based on the polls that we've run in the channel, is that you guys do not want Ben Simmons on the Raptors. Though he is a good player, I understand that. I think the Raptors could really use with some more floor spacing type players to cater to the strengths of Pascal Siakam, and Ben Simmons would kind of limit that. Now, the Raptors are interested in trading Pascal Siakam. That's an entirely different discussion, but currently, where I'm at, I do not want to trade for Ben Simmons. And I think that this trade offer, the valuation that Daryl Morey has set, is completely ludicrous, completely ridiculous. And I think that negotiations went down a little bit of something like this. Hey Masai, what can I do for you? Well, Daryl, we were hoping we could work out a deal for Ben Simmons today. Oh, of course. I think we have a trade package that will actually satisfy both parties here. Oh, fantastic. Well, let's hear it. So for starters, we would need the first round pick. Oh, so you mean the first overall pick for next year, right? Not the 4th? No, it would be the 4th overall pick. Okay. And we would need OG Anunoby in the deal. Wait. OG Anunoby? We were thinking more along the lines of a Kyle Lowry sign and trade.
Oh yeah, we would need Kyle Lowry as well.
Okay, Daryl, I think we're a little bit off in value here.
And we'd also need Fred VanVleet.
I really don't understand where Daryl Morey's thoughts for this trade come from. Like, this is like in the offseason, an NBA player who all of a sudden looks jacked from his offseason training, and next day the NBA gives him a random drug test. I think that this is Daryl Morey's jacked photo in the offseason. This is one where the NBA needs to look at it and go, okay, maybe we should give Daryl Morey a drug test, because how on earth does he think the valuation for Ben Simmons is 3 bona fide starters in the NBA? I believe a future all-defense player in OG Anunoby, and the 4th overall pick, not just any first-round pick. I wouldn't do just OG Anunoby and the 4th overall pick for Ben Simmons. I don't think I'd do OG Anunoby and just a first-round pick for Ben Simmons, a future first-round pick, let alone the 4th overall pick. I'm not even sure I would do straight-up OG Anunoby for Ben Simmons. I am that high on OG Anunoby. I think he's got future as an all-defense player with the ability to actually hit 3-pointers. Now, a Lowry sign and trade for Ben Simmons, that is something that I would probably consider doing. Fred VanVleet's trade up for Ben Simmons, it'd be hard to turn down, but again, Fred VanVleet allows us to have that floor spacing that Ben Simmons wouldn't really give us, especially when you have Pascal Siakam on your team. I would probably end up doing that, though it wouldn't really cater to the strengths of the Raptors. He would help us set on defense. But when it comes to OG Anunoby, I don't want him anywhere near this trade. I don't want him going anywhere. Somebody made a really good comment a few weeks ago. I would trade my mom before I trade OG Anunoby, okay? OG Anunoby, Masai Ujiri is really, really high on this player, and I think there's a big reluctance to trade him. And I feel like that this negotiation with Daryl Morey was shut down pretty quickly after he proposed it. And I'm sure Masai Ujiri and the rest of whoever in the front office was there for that phone call had to hold back laughter. Now, trying to understand where Daryl Morey is coming from in this situation. So he has complained about a month ago now that Masai Ujiri set an outrageous asking price for Kyle Lowry at the trade deadline. Now, I don't doubt that he's telling the truth here, because Masai Ujiri probably had a pretty hefty asking price for Kyle Lowry, because he believes that maybe Kyle Lowry will re-sign as a free agent this offseason, though Kyle Lowry is asking for quite a bit of money here. I think that Daryl Morey is trying to counteract that by really highballing the Raptors to start up these negotiations, because I think that he wants to meet in the middle somewhere, and I think that he's a little bit desperate to trade Ben Simmons. I think that he's going into this offseason wanting to get rid of Ben Simmons, and I think this is trying to hide the fact that he's there. Deep down, I think he wants Ben Simmons gone. But on the surface, what he portrays to the people is that, Ben Simmons is a 3-time All-Star, and we want him on our team for the future. But he knows that there is a cap on this 76ers team and their talent that they can produce with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid on the floor. That is truly how I feel about this situation. Could they turn around and go win an NBA championship? Maybe, because there's so much talent on that team. But I think to maximize the potential of the 76ers and Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons needs to go. And I'm sure the basketball minds within the Philadelphia 76ers are understanding that situation here. But to start off a trade like this, with this insane value setting to the Toronto Raptors, it really sends a negative message. Last year, Ben Simmons was potentially the focal point of a trade that would send James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons' value is not where it was 1 year ago, because he's a little bit of a liability. But I'm trying to make sense of why Masai Ujiri, Bobby Webster, and whoever have expressed interest in Ben Simmons. I think he's a regular season type of player who would really help you from the defensive end. And if you can surround him with shooters, confident shooters, then maybe that would enable him to, drive and kick and be used kind of in like a Giannis situation. Because, Giannis doesn't have that 3-ball game. I mean, it's decent. When he's open, he can hit the threes, but they set the team around Giannis in Milwaukee, and they won a championship based off of it by adding in some great defenders and some great shooters around him. Allow Giannis to dominate the paint, allow Giannis to drive in, and when he's covered, when he's got a problem, he can kick out, and there's a lot of able shooters around him. That's a situation that Ben Simmons needs, but the Toronto Raptors don't really have a lot of those 3-point snipers around him, so it really would confuse me why the Raptors would go and get him, because I think the floor spacing for the Raptors would become a serious issue. But bottom line of everything, everything we always do on this channel, every video. Masai Ujiri knows best. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to build winning teams for the regular season. The Raptors are not considered threats every year, but other than last season, have continuously showcased their ability to get a high seed in Eastern Conference. When he was at Denver weren't that good, but he turned them into a team who was great and built for the regular season to get that high seed. So I think in this situation, maybe he understands what he's doing. Maybe he's got more moves on his mind, but this trade that Daryl Morey offered, he certainly will not be considering. So what do you guys make of Daryl Morey's offer to send Ben Simmons to the Toronto Raptors? Would you accept it? Do you think it's crazy? Should Daryl Morey be drug tested? What do you think Daryl Morey had been taking before he made that trade offer? I want to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that wraps up for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, be sure to hit that like button. If you did enjoy the video, smash that like button for NBA Draft Week. Lots of great content on the YouTube channel as well as the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/amateursports. We are also doing a NBA Draft Watch Along on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The link is down below for the streams. Make sure you're there. You can follow up and turn on the notification bell there to stay up to date with all of our streams we do every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Other videos by the channel that you may enjoy, and always remember, at the end of the day, I believe what I say, and if you disagree, that is always okay. Enjoy the grind, and I'll see you again next time for another video.